This has never been done before. It's a little crazy. It's definitely unorthodox. And it may be a little confusing, but we're going to make this work. And so try to follow along. There's going to be a short quiz afterwards. First off, before we start anything, we have to thank Giero Kirk Music and Jeff Kirk, Allen Organ Company. Jeff, please stand up. Let's give Jeff a round of applause. And we do know that there's no better organ on the market than the Allen organ. This is the GX460DK custom that was dedicated by Hector Oliveira last year. And we have its little baby brother, the GX235. Two great organs. Even though this one is smaller, they're equal in tone and technology. They're both state-of-the-art, both top of the line. So, I mean, obviously we have daddy and little baby down here, but you won't be able to tell a difference. This just could do a little bit more. So that's a great thing. And then we have some great organists here tonight. So I'm going to name them, and then I'm going to ask everybody to stand up and just wave so people can see you for a minute and then forget your name. So first, myself, Ed Capshaw, organist and choir master here at Christ Episcopal Church, North Hills. I have the privilege of playing on this wonderful organ every Sunday, and it is just a thrill. It's literally the best instrument I've ever played. Absolutely love it. Then we have Mr. Aaron Sproul. Please stand up, Aaron. So Aaron is just wonderful music director, wonderful organist, top-notch guy. He is the assistant at St. Bernard Church in Mount Lebanon, which is a huge Catholic church. They have a magnificent Cassavant pipe organ. Just top-notch organ, top-notch music program. Just unbelievable what they're able to do up there. And I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Chaz, Mr. Bowers, please stand up. Not many people will admit this, but Chaz and I go way back to childhood, actually. But Chaz is, I would probably say, the best organist in Pittsburgh. He is. I mean, he's a composer. He's accomplished so much, and very proud of you, man. Glad you're here, but he is the music director at St. Bernard in Mount Lebanon. Huge Catholic church, but him and Aaron, it's an unfair advantage for the rest of us, but we'll be all right. We're gonna compete. Yeah, we might have to tie one hand behind his back. So that's Chaz Bowers, everybody. David, I'm gonna miss Sherrick. Yep, Dave, stand up. You're at 3 churches, right? 4 churches. In West Virginia and Ohio? West Virginia. Yes, we're glad Dave's here. Excellent organist. He's in the market for a new organ right now. Hopefully something will happen. He has a little bit of a hodgepodge pipe organ, so he's glad to be here. We're glad that he's going to be playing the Allen. We got Jeff Davis. So Jeff is a great organist. He's up at Divine Grace Parish, yes, in Zelienople. They changed all the saints. I don't understand it, but all the saints have different names now, you know. But that's where Jeff's at, and they're getting, I hope everybody has a chance to attend up there maybe later this year. They're going to get a brand new 4-manual Allen that's going to run a huge Cassavant pipe organ too. It's bigger than this. Right now, Christ Episcopal has the biggest organ in the North Hills until they get theirs. So we get the title for a little bit. And Jeff Donnelly, there he is. Master of improvisation. So he's at St. Paul's Lutheran in Monessen. And so we're glad to have him. Excellent organist. Again, everybody here is professional. Everybody's playing in all kind of different churches. And I think I got everybody right. Just want to recognize one guy here that wanted to be a spectator, Mr. Josh Bandish. Dr. Bandish, please stand up. I play for Josh every Saturday, but he's the music director at Christ the Divine Shepherd in Monroeville Catholic Church. I'm there Saturdays, and he's a great guy to work with, excellent organist, top-notch type of guy too. I'm moving around and I'm watching his camera move too. It's funny. So we are live streaming right now on YouTube, but let me do two more announcements. Two great friends of mine are here tonight to be the judge of this. Miss Pat Bauer. Pat, could you please stand up? Pat is a music teacher, orchestra leader. If you've seen anything around the Lutheran diocese and the Episcopal diocese, when they have the drum circles, they had the drum circle up at St. John's, right? Yes. Pat's the one that leads it. So they do that in Lent and everything, but she is excellent. She knows a lot about music, and she always keeps me on my toes, so that's a good thing. And then we want to recognize a good friend of mine, both former choir members from when I was down in Millville, but Steve Slepecki, Pastor Steve. Steve is the pastor of Oak Grove Lutheran Church in Zelienople. He was a bass in the choir for a long time. He knows a thing or two about music and tonality and, you know, just how things should sound too. So we're going to have some fun with that too. Okay, so how's this going to work? So we have a bunch of organists here, and what our plan is I'm going to flip a coin. We're going to pick two organists randomly. We're going to flip a coin. Whoever wins the coin toss, they get to pick the hymn. They also get the big organ, okay? They're going to start the hymn, and then he's going to do like a verse. So let's just say, Alleluia, sing to Jesus, right? This organ will start that hymn, one verse. This organ will then, he'll stop. This organ will then do the same thing, so you could hear the differences between the organs, right? Even though they're the same. Then, on the third verse, this organ's going to start the improvisation, and then this organist is going to try to outdo that improvisation, and then on that last one, it's going to be kind of like a back and a forth. So, never been done before. We'll see how it works. Was there anything else? I think that may be it. Yeah, I think that's it. So what do we have to pick from today? Any hymn goes. The organists do not have presets. And if anybody knows what a preset is all these buttons here that change the sounds and registrations as we go along. I'm the only one that has it if I'm on my organ, but that's an unfair advantage that I get because it's my church. Everybody else has to register as they want, or they could use the DB pedal, which is a crescendo pedal down here. And the DB is an inside joke, and I can't say that online. So that's the plan. Nobody knows what the hymn's going to be. Nobody has picked it. Nobody has done anything. All the organists have had a chance to examine both instruments to see what they want to do. And that's it. So it's game on, and we'll go from there. We have tonight the hymnal 1982, which is the standard hymnal for the Episcopal churches since 1982. We have the Lutheran Book of Worship, which is the sometimes commonly referred to as the LBW or the Green Hymnal. It has tremendous history of hymns, and a lot of people are very fond of that. We have Choral Praise, which is from our Roman Catholic tradition, so a lot of hymns in this one. We have Choral Companion, which is another Roman Catholic hymnal. So, but to be honest with you, most of the hymns are all the same in all the other hymnals, except for little nuances here and there. So other than that, our judges are going to be judging on a few criteria. The main thing is technique, you know, and not too technique-y, but like, are we doing anything that's crazy? Like, is Jazz up here playing with one hand behind his back and hitting notes with his nose or something, you know? Don't put it past them. Creativity, like, what were we able to pull out just randomly out of our head? Then the third thing, and this is a scale of 1 to 10, I'm calling it the wow factor. Like, wow, that was crazy. Like, people at Christ Episcopal Church know that on Easter Sunday I had birds chirping. And the choir was looking up at the sky, and then Kevin, who's in the choir, looked at me and started laughing because I was laughing at the organ during communion because I was using the birds. And he was just, they got a kick out of it, so that was fun. And then This is a little bit more of a serious one, realistic. What we did, this improvisation, is it realistic? Could we actually pull this off in the church setting? Or is it just like too much? So that's a scale 1 to 10. And then I threw a third one in, the last one in there, which is suspense. Did it keep you in suspense? Were you like waiting for that music to build up and do its thing? So that's the judging criteria. We'll tally the scores. We'll see who wins. But if anybody ever watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? The points are made up and they don't matter. But we're gonna have fun. I mean, that's the main thing. We want organists to get together. We want people to have fun and see the instruments and like the instruments. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Do I have any volunteers of any organist that would like to go first? If not, I'm going to randomly pick.
I'll do it. Why not?
All right. Yes. Come on up. Chaz, Jeff. All right, guys. We have Chaz Bowers and Jeff. They have not seen or picked. Eye has not seen and ear has not heard what's going to happen. So, guys, you have a plethora of hymns in your library. What you want to do? I got the coin here. Who wants to call it? All right, I'm going to throw it in the air. Ready? Oh, God. Believe it or not, it is tails. Yeah. So, him, and you get the big organ.
To pick a hymn.
Yep, pick a hymn. He's going for Jeff. Yep.
Am I allowed to use the index and just work up
Yep,
the tune?
whatever you want to do.
Oh, amen to that. Make life easy.
Jeff Dahl. Okay, Jeff did pick the LBW, which is the Lutheran Book of Worship. It's the green book. They do have a red book, but it's not as popular yet. They got a newer one now, too. All Creation Sings. Everybody wants to name their hymnals Sing. That's why I like the Episcopal hymnal. Hymnal, 1982. Not 1984, 1982. Good year. You know? What do we got? Okay, you servants of God. Okay, here we go, guys. We got Jeff and Chaz, and they're gonna go for it. Ye servants of God. Yeah, so they have to huddle. You know, it's like we're about to throw a touchdown pass. So. Yeah, at the end we'll have some. If it's not done yet. All right, ye servants of God, ye masters, proclaim. All right. Make sure you guys can see each other if you need to communicate. All right, and they're picking the registrations. It's like a playbook. You guys know they're ready? Yeah, we're ready. All right, take it away. The Battle of the Hymns. to turn it over to the judges here next. Get a score and a commentary. And then in the meantime, to expedite things just a little bit, who would like to go next? We need a volunteer or I'm going to pick. Yeah, who is next? Oh, Aaron. Aaron's next. That's right. Aaron Sprawl, everybody. I'll go with Aaron. All right. I'll go in with Aaron, and then we'll go from there. We're going to do judges first. On the last one with Chaz and Jeff, where do we stand, guys? We're still tabulating. In the meantime, we're going to flip the coin. You want to call? All right. Oh, it's heads. He got it. He gets the big guy.
So Ed, is this on? Yeah, it's on. Do you want us to give a detailed breakdown here? Because I'm realizing one of the problems with being a judge is the fact that I hate to choose between the two because I'm going to want to choose both of them every time all night. But they were both, yeah, they were both solid. I would happily take either of them as organist in my congregation, but I have to say that just for wow factor, all love and respect to Chaz, Jeff just blew me away, the things that he was able to do up there. That really, yeah. I ended up with a final score of 47 for Jeff and 38 for Chaz.
I think they were both very, technique-wise, were perfect. Creativity, wow factors were there. As far as realistic, I think maybe Chaz was a little more realistic for our churches. I could be wrong. I gave Jeff 49 and Chaz 47.
All right. Let's see it. There we go. Let's hear it for Jeff and Chaz. That's awesome. So in the meantime, Aaron won the coin toss, which was heads, but he let me have my organ, so. Right? Home advantage. We are going to do All Creatures of Our God and King. Right? With the right key. I'm going to start and we'll go from there. All right, no bias here. Who's up next too while we're here? You guys? All right, come on up. We're going to turn it over to the judges. Did I give you that $20?
You know, what's kind of interesting about this is I said to Ed the other day, are you sure I'm qualified to do this? I'm not a musician like these guys are, but that means I'm looking at it from the pastor's perspective, and what would this be like in my church, you know? So looking at it from that perspective. Ed, I'm sorry, the birds add creativity factor, but the realistic factor on Sunday morning, there's going to be at least 3 people that are going to say to me, why did our organist play bird sounds this morning? So I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying. I really liked Aaron's use of suspense in the second verse. That was really cool. And I thought that Ed had the wow factor won until Aaron's third verse. There was a lot of wow factor there. I had a final score of 44 for Aaron and 43 for Ed.
Well, when it came to creativity, I gave them both a 10. Yeah. The wow factor, you had it with the birds, but Aaron did a great job also. So my final score was 49 for Ed and 50 for Aaron.
That was great. All right, here comes who wants to call the toss here? Heads? All right, Jeff has called heads. It is tails. All right, guys, pick your hymn and go for it. You already have it picked. Ready. All right. You get to pick the organ, so. Jeff. Jeff and David, guys. Yeah. Cool. What organ we picking? Well, a man of great taste. Yeah, he wants the birds. What's our hymn, guys? Okay, Ode to Joy. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee. Oh, that was joyful. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. No, that was excellent. And you're going to go again, too, so don't run off. How about the two organs together? That gets extra points in an extra category. We're going to go to our judges. I think everybody went, right? So we're going to go again, but this time, if you didn't use the one organ, you're going to use it. It's a flip-flop. But we're going to be different partners. So this is where, as a music director and choir master of the Episcopal Church here, I get to pick. I'm going to pick. So we're going to go, let's just get it out of the way. Chaz and Aaron. We're going to get the score. Score's coming. But the next is going to be Chaz and Aaron together. And we're going to turn it over to Pastor Steve here for the first score.
Both of those performances got really high marks from me for realism, as in those are both really solid performances that I would want to have played in my congregation. I really liked in the second verse Jeff's use of the bells for creativity and wow factor. I really, really like that. Sorry, Ed, unlike bird sounds, that's something you can add that people will, I'm sorry. I had a 44 for Jeff and a 41 for David.
44 what?
44 Jeff and 41 David.
Okay, 44 Jeff, 41 David. Nice. This Pat.
I have to do math. I can only count to 6 for 6/8 time. Oh boy, I love them both. I've been very impressed with everybody so far. It's just fabulous. I put more of a wow factor for Jeff than for David. But I gave David a 44 and Jeff a 47.
All right, so we have, that's a terrible key. But, all right, Aaron and Chaz are next. And we're going to keep going for a little bit. We want to make sure we're having fun. And then we're going to do like another round, and then we're actually going to take a couple requests. So if you have that favorite hymn, we'll go from there. Is this it, guys? Yeah. You use that. What's the hymn? Hey, the birds are copyrighted. The birds are copyrighted. Okay, this next hymn is from the Roman Catholic Church, To Jesus Christ, Our Sovereign King. Great hymn. Christ Jesus Victor, Christ Jesus Ruler, Christ Jesus Lord and Redeemer. So we're going to take it away, To Jesus Christ, Our Sovereign King. Just another public service announcement. The birds are mine, copyrighted. I actually asked Alan to put those birds in the organ. That was one of my design features. Hey, Chaz, the birds are mine. Jesus Christ, our sovereign King. And now we go to the judges. Who's next? Who is next? Coming back up. I think they want you. All right, I'm going to go with me and Jeff are going to go next. How about that?
I enjoyed both of those very, very much. I have to make one comment and say, I don't know if this is something that I should really be judging based upon or not, but it is something that congregations notice. Aaron has an amazing body language presence at the organ. I mean, he just looks the part. I mean, he just does. So I thought that was really cool. And I also enjoyed Aaron's use of suspense, especially with the way he constantly alternated tempo and volume and whatnot. Chaz definitely blew it away for wow factor, I think, and for creativity. I just loved all that varying harmony on top of each other. And I had a final score of 46 for Aaron and 44 for Chaz.
My scores were just a little bit different, but not a whole lot. I love the wow factor. Chaz really had a lot to say as far as counterpoint goes. He really mastered that. I have 47 for Chaz and 45 for Aaron. Both of them did a fabulous job, I thought.
All right, so Jeff and I are going to go next. He's going to go on the Big Allen. I'm going to go on the Little Allen. And we're going to do, some know it as Love Divine, All Loves Excelling. Hallelujah, Sing to Jesus. Same hymn, different words, but that's our next one. So here we go. All right, turn it over to the judges. Who's next? We have you guys. You guys didn't go again, right? Yeah. You guys are up. Here's the judges, guys.
Once again, enjoyed them both. Jeff's performance was a really strong, traditional, dignified, sky high score for realism. Ed's, the creativity and the suspense, I gave him really high marks there because the improvisation was just all over the place. I had no idea where Ed was going to go. So, Ed, your $20 worked this time. I had you at 41 and I had Jeff at 40. So.
My scores were also very close. Yeah, they were. I had Ed for creativity. I had him at a 9, and then he blew me away. You started quoting other things. Yeah. Okay, so when you start quoting Bach and other things, I changed my score. So you have, Ed has 49, and Jeff has 48.
That was fun, though. We got to say that was fun. All right. Next up, we got David and Jeff. What's the plan, Stan? Oh. Yeah. What is our hymn? Earth and All Stars from LBW, the Lutheran Book of Worship, Earth and All Stars. Jeff? David and Jeff. Yeah. David and Jeff. All right, guys, take it away. Okay. Sounds good. And what is it again? Earth and All Stars. I don't know this one. Da, 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 da. Yeah. It's a jolly little tune. It is. Is it in D major, my favorite key? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't play it then. I don't like flats. Nasty flat keys. I know. All right, Earth and All Stars. Every Lutheran will know this hymn. So you got a lot riding on this. Did Martin Luther write it? No. David Johnson. That's a crazy that Martin Luther didn't write a hymn that they're playing. All right, guys, take it away. to the judges, and we'll see where we're at.
I'm not sure what to say. I just recently planned the worship service for our Southwestern PA Synod Assembly closing worship service, and this hymn was the hymn of the day that we chose that day. And my instructions to the musician that day were that this was a hymn that to me was an upbeat, high-tempo song of triumph and praise and celebration. And both gentlemen kind of took it in a different direction with the verses 2 and 3, but they both finished more in verse 4, sounded the way that it sounds to my ear. Jeff's improvisation was very impressive and very technical. I'll say that David's is the one that made me want to burst out and sing along with him, so for what that's worth. My completely unscientific, completely biased opinion there. So I give David a 47 and Jeff a 45.
I thought both technique for both of them was awesome, but I gave Jeff, his technique was blew me out of the park. It really did. So I gave him a 49, and I gave Dave a 47.
All right, how about we're going to start to wrap up, but how about a round of applause for all of our organists and our judges. So, in your pew, you think I'm not going to let you out of here without singing something. In your pew, there is a spiral bound book that looks like this. And it's our supplemental hymnal. It has songs in here that aren't in the normal book. Yes, some of them are not spiral bound, but some of them are taped together. So, listen, guys, wherever you are, and not to get political, but the world is turning into a bad, crazy place right now. And, we really do need to pray for peace. So we're going to end this with all the organists. And hymn number 881, we're going to do some improvising with Let There Be Peace on Earth. And we're all going to be just kind of switching organs. And then at the end, I'm going to take my organ at the end, I'll raise my hand, and we'll start singing. How about that? So all the organists could come up. And whoever wants to start, we're going to start. Both hymns are on the organ, and we're going to start the improvisation first, and then we'll end this. So thanks everybody for coming, and we're going to go from there. Everybody on up. Guys, thanks to all our organists. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it as always. If you want to come up and see the organs, more than welcome. If not, have a safe, I was going to say flight, but safe drive. Thanks a lot.